All right then. So I'm back from my blood test with an empty arm, and yeah, that's an English joke, but I suppose I should explain at some point. I just noticed that I haven't posted any baccarat games online since these three,
I'm
58,
not quite sure
59,
how
and
to help you with that.
oh, Alexa, do shut up. 58, 59, and 60 way down here, so you can see what happened there. 7,900 down, gag one, then gag two was a bit better, and then the turnaround in 17 minutes was great. 16,300, so it's about 8 or 9,000 won there. And then we've got so 59 to 60, and then we got 61, 62, 63, 64, 69, going on and on up there. So I will try and catch up. It's difficult because I can play them a lot faster than I can process them through the editor and get them online and so on. But if you just look at the the information that you see here, oh, and that one obviously needs an explanation. That was turned around in 9 minutes, so I'll put that in. Oops, can't type to save me life. It's lack of blood. All right, so let's kick off another little session here, and hopefully I'll get it online pretty soon. But yeah, the playing of it is pretty rapid. Right, so we're starting at 2 minutes. Double for the loss. Double for the tie. And that's good enough. No, it's not. I've got to repeat it. I've said that many times in the past, and once the bet gets to 100, you've got to have at least, 100 to show for your efforts when turnaround comes. So that's what that's about. Okay, so there you have it. Now we're at 175, so I can drop back to the min. You got to have targets. You got to stick with them. You got to be consistent. You got to be disciplined. You got to be sober. You got to be alert. All of those things that just take all the fun out of gambling. I mean, hell, why would anybody want to play like that? I'm being sarcastic. Okay, get that? Double for the loss. Repeat. 51. Repeat. 1, 2. Try again. There we go. Yeah, the empty arm joke is just about this comedian years ago, Tony Hancock, very famous in the UK, hardly known in the States. He did a whole routine about how he was persuaded to be a blood donor, and he went in sort of expecting a pinprick, and they told him that they needed a pint, and he got very upset and said, "That's a bloody armful. I'm not going home with an empty arm." And that's that joke. Funny, huh? 3, 4. What? 7, 8. Okay, we're in the danger zone here now. 7, 8. What we need now is a player. Did not get it. 15, 8. We're going to run away from this shoe because that's the rule. 5 behind, and the bet is big. So we're running away. Now the rule is you never start with a banker bet in a new shoe. Never, ever, 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 ever. And anybody who believes that backing banker all the time is a good idea is a bloody fool. Or doing it because it's their job. Okay, so we're at 15.8, which we're going to call 3-2 in 500s. And the bet is on player. 5-4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bloody hell, not going well, is it? 5, 4, 9, 8. So we're going to call that 4-4 in thousands. Damn it. Now we're going to call it 4-5 because I'm in charge. Okay. That's not great, is it? We're getting thrashed here, but we were due, I think, to be honest. 4-5, 9, 9-5 going to the bank. Okay, now we go 9-10. Sometimes you've got to work a bit harder, you know? And there it is. Okay, so the session balance after 6 minutes is 3,135. We just had to bet 19,000, risk 19,000, 9-10 that is, to win 3,105. So we basically got a seventh back, so we got a 15% return in about 2 minutes. So, you know, you have to figure out whether that's a reasonable proposition. It doesn't work for gamblers. For businessmen exploiting these games for their possibilities and obvious advantages to the player, if you bet progressively, then it's a different story. But anyway, we're stuck with banker now. Now I'm going to go back to a minimum bet, and there's loads of people out there who will say, no, you couldn't do that. You just bet 10,000, you couldn't bet 25 at the same table. It doesn't matter. I mean, honestly, I give up. There we go. We're going to repeat that one. And we're out. Back to the minimum on the bank. +1. 1, 2. Try again. You will have noticed I'm a lot tougher on roundups when I'm on the bank. That's because I will not suffer the indignity of commission. So I just make sure I get it back in spades. Now we're on 2-3, and it's the last bet on the bank. No, it's not. Back to the minimum. +1. Yeah, for my purposes in these demos, I'm a lot happier if I lose more bets than I win, because that, you know, that makes my whole point. But too often in these shoes, they actually have the bad manners to allow me to win more bets than I lose, and so solid. Okay, so that's going to be 2-3. Try again. There we go. Yes, I'm much harder on the bank because of the commission. Although 1-2 there. There we go. Yeah, we got the commission covered last time because I added 1. I added 1,000 because of the tie. Because we were on 4-4, and then I made it 4-5, and we nailed it. And you know, one of the things that's amusing about these professional losers on YouTube is that they act, well, one in particular does, Sirasani, as if winning more bets than you lose is some kind of magical thing that you can take credit for. When he does this thing in one video where he says, "You have witnessed greatness." I mean, what absolute baloney. Good heavens. You have witnessed blind luck and incredible incompetence. 1-2. 3-5, and we'll run away if we lose this one. Well, we didn't lose it, and it's not worth boasting. Oh, stop the flicker firewalls. Look at this. How many do I have to put up with in a row here? All right, so that's 2-1 over here on the player. Now 3-2. And now 5-4. This is just not funny. Okay, I'm going to run away from this shoe because I just don't like it. 5-4, so we're on 9. So that's going to be 5-3 when we start with a new shoe. Having to work hard this time, which I always like anyway. But I don't want to work too hard. I don't want to work so hard that I actually have to run to blackjack. But anyway, 5-3 in thousands is the first bet. A new shoe. And remember, the cards are unaffected by the size of the bet. Nothing changes. Every bet faces negative expectation, right? That is an absolute fact of life. So 5-3, 1, 2, 3. And now 2-3. Now 5-6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, will you look at that? We're out of trouble. So now we're plus 6,000 in 11.5 minutes. And again, we had to put money out, but it's still the same max, which was 9-10. So that was our highest bet, our highest exposure, 20,000, and we got 6,000 to show for it. So, you know, what the heck? Too many ties, damn it. 51. 2-3. 5-6. We'll go a bit further in player. 5-6. There it is. That's not right. Back to the min. Very, very important, going back to the min. Pretty much as important as anything else, to be honest. Although there are lots of factors in this strategy that matter. Double for the loss. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it, here we go again. 7-8. I'm going to have to run away again? Nope. All right, minimum. Yeah, I'm still surprised by the number of people who come back to me and say, "Well, I've watched what you're doing, and I don't understand the rules." I'm all right. 1, 2. We're getting tested on this one. Double for the loss. 1, 2 again. 3, 4 again. Damn it. 7-8 again. Gracious me! And after this, it's going to be a runaway. Oh, and there it is. Good as gold. Okay. Back to the minimum. I really don't like to run away too often, I have to say. That's a repeat. 51. What? We lost another one? 2, 3. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like I am going to have to run away again. 11-6 going to the bank, but look at this here. So off we go again. Eleven, 6. Which is Bit of a push to call that 3-2, but I'm going to do it anyway. 3-2. Like I say, the cards don't affect anything. Nothing changes except the rate of your heartbeat. 3-2. 5-4. Okay, now it has to be 5-6. And there it is. Good as gold. Okay, so now this is the third shoe. So I'm going to play it until 20 and then I'll knock it on the head. Double for the tie. 51. 2-3. Try again. 5-6. It's not going my way this time, but we're making money. Let's just not forget that. 5-6. There it is. Minimum. +1. That's another one. 1-2. 3-4. Here we go again. All right, we got our 3-4. That's good. Double for the loss. Repeat. What was that? 51? 51. Repeat. Double for the tie. 2-3. There it is. Okay, so we're at 21. We've done 21 hands. So I'm going to wrap this one up and we'll go and have a look and see how we did. But overall, I think we were probably a little ahead in terms of wins versus losses. This was 17 minutes. So, pretty happy with that. Yeah, I do hate to waste a shoe, but when I eventually do the transfer to update the main file, which has all the, or nearly all, of the Baccarat Win Pro shoes in it, I'll get the full shoe. I don't get just the bits that I played. So what are we looking at here? We're going to look for results. Okay, so what did I do here? I had three gags? Blimey, O'Reilly. Spread it out a bit, didn't I? I mean, it's 54, 84, 91, 101, 108 across 4 shoes. Blimey. Didn't notice that. Gag 1. We came out with a good profit. That's the main thing. But folks, you have to understand that, when you feel uncomfortable, when you feel threatened, when you feel the shoe is shit, when the dealer has bad breath or somebody next to you keeps farting, whatever, run away. It doesn't change a bloody thing. It may not make things better, but it'll give you a little bit of a breather. And, I think the hardest thing for people to understand is that most of the time, these games are pretty kind of like reasonable. It's, pretty much even Stevens. And then it goes shit shape. The wheels come off. And when you're in the middle of sort of like the wheels coming off, run away. Don't feel bad about it, And I'm now not sure what the total balance is, but it'll tell me at some point. Let's look at the first one and I'll go and do the work with my trusty assistant. Oh dear, look at that. It's very sad, isn't it? Well, hell's bells. I think I should complain to the management about this one. I mean, this is unpleasant. 650 divided by 5 is an average win of 130. 1775 divided by 10 is an average loss of 178. the average win over average loss is an embarrassment, 73%. The AV is -5 over 17, which is 5 plus 10 plus 2, the number of ties that we encountered. That's -29%, excuse me. And our loss of 1125 over total action of 2,425 is -46%. So that was a bloody disaster. But things get better. I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking, what a load of crap. 10,972 divided by 14, as you will have heard, is 784. 12,700 divided by 16 is -794. Average loss, average win over average loss, 99%. So that's kind of like, a loss of 1,727 over total action of 23,672, -7.3%. The AV is, sorry, I didn't write that down properly in the last one, -2 over 37, which is -5.4% house advantage against us. So you can see the purpose of running away here. It's pretty well illustrated. We've just had 2, -5, -2, and so on we go in search of something less nasty, and it will occur. And here we go with gag 3. And this time, I'm going to stop the clock. All right, folks. So this is what we live for in these situations, and we're not even done with this shoe, because we've got another one to process yet. This one, 11,950 divided by 12 is an average win of 996. 6,200 lost, 20 losing bets. Average loss is 310. So the average win value over average loss value is 321%. The total win on this particular shoe, 5,750 over total action of 18,150, is a win percentage of 32%. The actual value, 8 more losses than wins in 33 bets, is a house edge of 24%, -24% to us. So we flipped the 24% against us into 32% in our favor, and we're not done yet. The funny thing about this, of course, is that I completely misremembered where we were at in terms of wins to losses. I'm thinking, oh, well, I guess it's about even. It's nowhere near even. Right now, we're 15 losses. We're 15 behind in terms of wins to losses. So, I completely screwed that up, didn't I? Anyway, onward to the last one, and let's see how we get on with that. This is just so flipping weird, I mean, this is a perfect example of revenge is sweet. It's also a perfect example of what pattern betting is for, what it's all about, why it functions well, why it does what it does. And so I'm going to be putting this up probably today, ahead of all the other baccarat shoes, because the great thing about this platform is that it shows the results of the prior shoes, since the last ones that I actually posted online, put up in a demo online. So I'm pretty cool with that. But what we have with this last one, number 1879, is wins of 4,525. 8 of those, average win 566. 2,000 in losses, 9 of those, average loss 222. So average win value over average loss value is 255%. And in a minute, what I'm going to do is do the sums for the 4 shoes, and we're going to have a very, very good result. But what I try to get across with all of these things is that there's no flukery, there's no flim flam, flummery, flukel doodles, whatever going on here. It's simple, consistent arithmetic. It's responding to a situation in a way that protects your interests but doesn't result in you falling back to bets which are too tiny to make an impact on the hole you're in. It's the old story about, if you're in a 50-foot hole, then somebody dropping down a 20-foot ladder or a 10-foot ladder or a 5-foot ladder is going to be no damn help at all. If you're on a 50-foot hole, what you really need is a 51-foot ladder, but it's difficult to try and get this across to gamblers, because gamblers, by and large, are not thinkers. They are the opposite of thinkers. They're unthinkers. They are, sort of like emotional thrill seekers, most of them. And the reality, as I have said many, 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 many times in these demos, the reality is that most of them, number one, expect to lose, and number two, want to lose. So that's just how it is. And I have never thought of myself as a gambler. I've always thought of myself as a player. And you can say if you want that I'm deluding myself. But this 4-shoe session here is a perfect demonstration of what I'm talking about. And if you're dumb enough to believe that I somehow control this platform, this simulation, then you really are very dumb indeed, I have to say. And I'm sad about that. But most dumb people don't know they're dumb, so I guess I shouldn't be sad. You just let you go on living your life and losing your money. What can I tell you? Anyway, I'm going to stop a second, just do the whole lot on this to figure out the total wins, total losses. Okay, so I was somewhat rudely interrupted there because my creaky old computer crashed while I was doing my sums. And it's kind of embarrassing, really, because my son sent me a spanking new computer weeks ago when he and I were having a conversation, because he's in California. We were having a chat, and I just said, "Oh, shit!" And and he said, "What?" And I said, "Oh, it's the computer's crashed again. Bloody thing! It keeps doing this." And his response to that was just to say, "Okay, I'm going to send you a new computer. Pick one, and I'll sort it out." So, love that boy. I love all the kids, but it's especially nice when one of them sends you a new computer. Jonathan sent me the last one, the one that's acting up now. And that's certainly not his fault. But Simon's new one is a tower, a desktop, and much faster, flashier, etc., etc. But I just haven't got around to loading it up yet. Anyway, the answer to this whole thing is this is a perfect demonstration of what pattern betting is all about. Across the 4 shoes, we won 5,423 on action of 50,772, which is a win percentage of 10.7%. In other words, a player edge. We didn't win more hands than we lost in any of these shoes. I thought we had. I thought, oh, well, we're about even. But of course, that's what you get when you're a cockeyed optimist. I just forget the bad shit and remember the good stuff. Minus 16, so 16 bets behind in 107. That is a house edge of 15%. In other words, a percentage against us. But pattern betting turned that into a 10.7. I think we could generously call that plus 11% player edge. Hard won, hard work, but not that terrible. The highest bet was 10,000. So it was 910. So we were 9 in the hole, 10,000 out. So that's total exposure of 19,000. And we got back 5,423, and it was all over in about 10 minutes, probably less. But anyway, a good story. And as I say, a perfect example of what pattern betting is all about, because you are going to lose more bets than you win over time. There is no doubt about that. No argument, no flash bastard sort of claiming that he's a lifetime winner at every casino he's ever played in. It is BS. It is a lie. Or the guy who says that he won 23 nights in a row, more than $1 million, blah, 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 blah. It's bullshit. Bollocks. It's crap. But because most of the audience for these YouTube gambling channels are sort of in the bozo brigade, the kind of people who still support the guy in the White House and so on and so on, there are not many deep thinkers in those audiences, in those numbers, those subscriber lists. And I don't know how many deep thinkers are stringing along with me, but I mean, I have less than a 10,000th, considerably less than a 10,000th of the audience of people like Vegas Matt and Mr. Handpay and NG Slot and so on and so on. But I'm sorry, if you scroll through the comments below these videos, the sort of the exposed, that's Crazy Cody Burn Money and other people like that, Bobby Rivas and so on, you are not looking at brainiacs with their comments. And they are people who are completely entitled to be comfortable, relaxed, and happy in their own skins. No doubt about that. But they are not people who are interested in the numbers underpinning all these house games. Specifically, I'm most concerned with single zero roulette, craps, and more importantly, blackjack and baccarat. Blackjack and baccarat are the games that I most enjoy and am most confident about beating again and again and again. So, what do we got here? We've just got to say TA 10 mins, and the win was 5,000. 423. I'm happy with that, and I just hope that somebody out there is getting something out of this, but they certainly won't be the sort of people who comment underneath Vegas Matt and Bobby Rivas and Mr. Handpay and so on. I mean, those people are, as I say, absolutely entitled to enjoy their lives, enjoy their thoughts, enjoy their passions and all the rest of it, but they are not deep thinkers. No doubt about that. Go check it out if you don't believe me. All right, I'm gone.